Hello students, good morning and welcome back once again to another video of the class 9 work and energy chapter. Today once again I have some questions for you for the practice purpose. The question today is, 4 men lift a box of 250 kilograms to a height of 1 meter. So the box is quite heavy, so 4 people are using it, holding it and raising it to a height of 1 meter. And hold it without raising it. So they are just holding it and not raising it any further or not lowering it. They are just holding the box to the height of 1 meter. Now there are 3 questions to this particular part. How much work is done by the men? So how much work is done? So when they are lifting the box, they are keeping it at a height of 1 meter. So the work done is equal to the energy stored, and this energy stored is the potential energy, and we know the formula for that. That is, potential energy PE is equal to mgh. That is gravitational potential energy. The mass of the box is given, that is 250 kilograms. Value of g, which is given as 10 meters per second square. Acceleration due to gravity, that is 10, and height is 1 meter. It is already in meters, so no need to convert it. Simple multiplication, this will give you 2500 joules. I hope it is clear to you, students. Very simple. The next part is, how much work do they do in just holding it? So at the height of 1 meter, after that they are not moving the box, neither upwards, vertically or downwards. So they are just keeping it there. They are not moving it. So no work is done. Over here, for the second part of the question, no work is done. No work is done. Because there is no displacement. Because there is no displacement. The object is not moving. Okay, it is at the same point where it was at 1 meter. Okay. The next part is, why do they get tired while holding it? So the people that are holding this heavy box to a 1 meter height, they are getting tired, and the reason for that is because, let's take the box for example over here. It is 250 kilograms and it is at a height of 1 meter. At a height of 1 meter from the ground. The problem is, gravitational force is always acting downwards on all the objects. So the 4 people that are holding the box, they have to apply the force in the opposite direction just to keep it there. They have to apply the force just to keep it steady, even though it is not moving. So they are applying the force. So the force applied by the 4 people and the gravitational force is equal. Okay, I repeat once again. The force applied by the 4 people is equal to the gravitational force. So they have to continuously fight the gravitational force while holding it in their hands. They have to continuously fight the gravitational force while holding it in their hands, because they have to apply the equal and opposite force in order to keep the box in their hands at that particular point at the height of 1 meter. And that is why they are getting tired, because when they are applying the force, they are consuming the energy stored inside them, and when their energy is used up in applying the force, then they are getting tired. Okay, so the third answer is, they are applying the force against gravity consuming their energy and hence getting tired. Okay, this might happen for many different reasons. Okay, for example, a different type of question is asked. Suppose you are pushing a heavy rock. Okay, you are pushing a heavy rock. Now, if you are applying the force, the displacement should happen, but because the rock has more mass, the frictional force that is contacted with the ground is much more, and therefore the person is not able to move the rock. But even though he is consuming the energy in applying the force, and so the person gets tired and he or she starts sweating if more force is applied on the immovable object. Okay? I hope this question is understood to you, students. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, students, so this numerical will require your knowledge for the previous chapter, that is gravitation, as well, because these two are related once again, so it will be a good revision for us. And let's get on with it. The weight of a person on planet A is half of that on the Earth. So if you remember, the weight of a person is given by, so weight of an object W is equal to m into g. Okay, mass into acceleration, there is mass into gravitational acceleration, that will give me the weight of the person on the surface of Earth. Remember, whatever kilograms that you have, that is 40 kg, 50 kg, that is your mass and not your weight. Weight is actually the force, that is mass into acceleration, force with which the gravitational pull of the Earth is acting on you. Okay, so this is totally different. Weight and mass is different, remember that. Now this is the weight on the surface of Earth. Okay, so the weight on the other planet, weight on the planet A is equal to half of the weight of Earth. So in short, I can write the weight on the planet A is half of the surface of Earth. It is said the weight of a person on planet A is half of that on Earth. Now the question is, he can jump up to a height of 0.4 meters on Earth. How much can he jump on the surface of planet A? So if you remember, in this chapter we studied about gravitational potential energy. Okay, gravitational potential energy, and it is given by mgh, or I can write weight of an object on Earth into the height, that is potential energy. This is not WEF, this is weight on Earth. Okay, don't get confused. Weight on Earth. Okay, we need to find this, that is weight on Earth. Now mass of the object is not given, but the height is given. Okay, height of the object is given, that is weight on Earth into 0.4 meters. Okay, 0.4 meters. Now this is the potential energy of the person. Now this potential energy is not going to change. Okay, this potential energy of the person is not going to change. Whatever this is, it is going to remain the same on the other planet as well. So remember this. Now potential energy on the surface of Earth is equal to potential energy on the surface of the planet A. So I will write potential energy on the surface of Earth, this is on the surface of Earth, is equal to potential energy on the surface of planet A, which is given as WE into 0.4. Now potential energy on the planet A is equal to mg, mass, that is going to remain the same, acceleration on planet A into height on planet A. Now this m into g is what? Weight on the planet A, that is equal to weight on the planet A, which is this one. So I can write weight on Earth into 0.4 is equal to weight on the planet A into height, just like how we did on this side. Now we also know what is the weight on the planet A, that is WE by 2. So I am replacing it with that. 0.4 is equal to WE by 2, because weight on the planet A is half of that on the surface of Earth, which we have already written in the beginning. So we are going to substitute that value over here into height on planet A. Remember, we need to find this, that is the height on planet A. Now weight on both the sides is same, that is weight on Earth. So all I need to do is cross multiply. So this will become 0.4 into 2 is equal to height on planet A. Multiplication 4 2s is 8, or I can write H or the height on planet A is 0.8 meters. Now because the gravitational pull on the other planet is less, and that is why its weight of the person is also less, and so when he or she jumps it, the height achieved by the person will also be more. Okay, so this is the height on the planet A. I hope it is clear to you, students. Okay, students, so now let's remember all the different points regarding this chapter, which are very important for the numericals point of view as well as the derivation point of view. Starting from the very beginning, work done, that is W is equal to force into displacement. If the force is applied and the displacement happens, then only the work is said to be done. If the force is applied but the displacement does not happen, or if the displacement happens perpendicular to the force applied, if the force is acting in this direction but the displacement is happening in this direction, then no work is done or zero work is done. Now if the force is applied but displacement happens in the opposite direction, then negative work is done. Okay, so remember this very two important points, that is if the force is applied and displacement happens for the object, then and then only the work is said to be done. Okay, the other thing is if the force is applied but displacement does not happen, or if the displacement happens perpendicular to the force applied, that is 90 degree to the force applied, then also no work is done according to the force applied. If the force is applied but displacement happens in the opposite direction, then negative work is done. Okay, so simple work done, zero work done, and negative work done. Starting from the very beginning, these were the first things that we studied. After this, we can only do the work, or we can only apply the force to do the work when we have a certain amount of energy. So whatever the energy is consumed, that is translated into work done. Or if a certain work is done on the object, then the energy can either be stored in that object. Okay, so both the cases you have to remember this: energy can be consumed to do the work, or work can be done to store the energy in the other object as well. Okay, so these two are very important points to remember, and the unit for both work done and energy is same, that is joules. We studied two different types of energy: kinetic energy and potential energy. Kinetic energy is the energy possessed by the object which is in motion, and its formula is kinetic energy Ke is equal to half m into velocity square of that object. Okay, I repeat once again, kinetic energy is the energy possessed by the object which is in motion, and its formula is given by Ke, that is kinetic energy, is equal to half m into velocity square, where m is the mass of the object which is in motion. Okay, the next one is potential energy. Now obviously potential energy are different forms of potential energy. The energy stored inside an object because of its shape, position, or virtue of how its molecular structure can also be said. So potential energy of different types, we know the examples, like if when you press a spring, energy is stored inside it as long as the spring is compressed. Similarly, bow and arrow, in order to fire an arrow you have to stretch the bow, and the energy is stored inside the string. As soon as you release it, it is transferred to the arrow and it moves away on the target. Okay, so different forms of potential energy, but the one that we studied was because of its position at a certain height. Okay, so that is gravitational potential energy, and when a work is done on that particular object to move that object to a certain height, then the energy is stored inside an object because of its height. Now it is irrelevant to whichever path you choose, because ultimately whatever height the object is placed, you only have to check the height, that is the exact vertical distance towards the surface. If the object is moved in many different places but ultimately kept at that height, then it does not depend on which path it has chosen to get there or how much work is done on that particular object. But if it is kept at a particular point, then the straight line or the vertical distance to the surface is considered as the height, and that is how the potential energy is measured for a particular object kept at a certain height, given as mg into h, mass of the object, g is the gravitational acceleration, 9.8 or 10 approximately, and then height at which the object is placed. I hope it is clear to you, students. The next one was conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred from one form to another form. Okay, it can only be changed. It cannot be destroyed. It cannot be created. So the total energy remains constant. Okay, so whatever amount of work you are doing, it is either getting stored or getting transferred into another form. We have many different examples. For example, the electrical energy coming towards you, you are consuming it for converting it into light energy for the bulbs, okay, or you are using the fans to move the fans, okay, so the electrical energy is converted into kinetic energy, and so on. The chemical energy in the fuels, you use it to run your vehicles. Once again, you are converting the chemical energy into heat energy, and then heat energy into kinetic energy of the motion of the bike, okay. So many different aspects. Now in these cases, the energy is transformed but not completely transformed, because when you are converting this heat energy into the motion of the motorcycle, much of the energy is lost in the process as well, because the engine gets heated and the energy is distributed in the surrounding, which energy is wasted. It is not being utilized. That does not mean that energy is destroyed, because if you have done certain joules of or consume certain joules of fuel, chemical energy, and converted into heat energy, not all of that energy is converted into kinetic energy, because when the fuel is burning, it creates certain heat energy, and that heat energy should be equal to the kinetic energy of the motorcycle, but it will not be the same, because the engine's heat energy is lost in the environment as well, okay, which is not completely utilized, okay. Similarly, I am using my strength of the lungs to give the sound energy. Now, according to this, if the energy can neither be created nor destroyed, the sound or my voice should be heard all the way around. If I speak something over here, then the energy should reach a certain place as well without me shouting. But in the process, my sound is distributed in all the directions, and the particles of the motion, how the sound travels, is because of that the energy is distributed. It becomes smaller and smaller, and that is why a person at far away distance will only be able to hear a very minute amount of the sound that I have spoken, okay. So the energy is distributed into the environment, that is, you can say, lost in the process but not destroyed, which is unusable. It cannot be used, okay. I hope it is clear to students. The last topic was conservation, power. Yes, power of an object, that is how much amount of work a machine or a person can do in certain amount of time, that is work done upon time taken. How much amount of work is done in a certain amount of time is known as power, okay, or you can say rate of doing work is known as power. Its unit is watt, okay. And after that, the last topic was commercial unit of energy, that is what we are using, kilowatt hour, that is 1 unit, 2 units every day. When you are consuming the amount of energy, that energy is given in the forms of units, which is equal to kilowatt hours, which means kilowatt of energy is consumed every second continuously for 1 hour. 1 kilowatt of energy consumed continuously for 1 hour is known as 1 unit, okay. Now that's all for today, students. That was a brief summary of the whole chapter that we studied, and we'll do more revision regarding this post midterm exams, since the syllabus for this particular exam has been completed. We'll start with that, and the notes of this chapter will be provided soon, okay. Till then, have a nice day.